Before I call upon the next speaker to make the presentation, let me put in a reminder to all of you out here. Data Science Foundation is rolling out memberships. The forms are available outside. If you enroll today, it'll be for free. And those who've already picked up the form, the certificates are ready at the counter outside. So do remember to collect them. Okay, so now we move on to the third speaker of the first session of this morning. We've moved into the afternoon by now. About unlocking value from data, scenarios from verticals. I'll call upon Mr. Sanjay Chatterjee, CEO Ideal Analytics, to talk about need for analytics in healthcare. Mr. Sanjay Chatterjee is co-founder, director of the board, and CTO of Ideal Analytics Solutions. He is a seasoned professional in analytics. Mr. Chatterjee is an engineer with experiences from Tata Technologies, Tata Motors, Intera IT. He did his MTech from IIT Kharagpur and BE from Bengal Engineering College. Mr. Sanjay Chatterjee.
For me is analytics in healthcare. That's a quite vast subject. So I have selected a portion of it, primarily focusing the challenges currently both development and developing nations are facing in healthcare, and what is the solution approach to handle that. So that will be my area. So let's see, how this scenario is equal in both developed and developing countries. Like what's basically the driving force is nothing but cost. The healthcare cost in developed countries, because the age group, when it is beyond say 40 plus, the cost increases a lot. And in developed countries, their healthcare cost mostly goes to the government. It's really becoming a pain for those government to take this model ahead. Already France had a big hit on that, and even Australia, US, and these developed countries has already started addressing this issue. And Obama Healthcare, if you are aware, in US, that's probably one of the first few countries who had targeted to solve this issue. And in developing countries just like India, you all know, like, even though the government doesn't take the burden mostly, but it goes on the individual basis. So end of the day, the nation is suffering. So in any middle class family in India, if there is a critical disease, the family is ruined. So from both these countries or nations type of perspective, the cost, the increasing cost over age, this is something is driving to have a solution. And let's see how analytics has addressed to solve this issue. So what we need basically to solve this problem, to reduce the cost. If you see the model of healthcare so far in both these countries, and India, mostly in developed countries, the model was cost delegation method. It means there is no control on cost. What do I mean by cost delegation? Like a patient goes to hospital, gets a bill, the hospital gives him the bill, he gives him the bill to the insurance. So whoever is spending, the money is given by the other party. It's like delegating your cost. That's a very dangerous model. So far as France and all other, even US could sustain, but now it's difficult for them. Now this will be cost absorption model. That is the first criteria. So even the Obama healthcare proposal is they will be assigning fund to particular provider or any kind of a hospital or even general practitioners, and they have to take care of a certain number of patients for a certain time. Now how will that be possible? Where the solution will come from to achieve this? The moment this model changes, the solution has to come from analytics, and the main aim is to go for preventive care so that the less number of people go to the critical phase. So the preventive care model, so as long as immediately, I mean, in a younger age, we can, or maybe, during the initial phase of a disease, if you can trap that, and then the cost will decrease. So target and go for more preventive care model and cost absorption model instead of cost delegation model. Now this is the overall solution ecosystem. The stakeholders are pretty clear, like mostly all the accountable care organizations like general practitioners, all healthcare providers, insurance companies, and of course the patient. And the target is this ecosystem will help both the population health as well as individual health. The left side, if you see the clinical integration engine, wherein the data comes from different sources. It's like a HIE, Healthcare Information Exchange, and based on that data, it's collected, of course, de-identified data. So where the patient information is not published, but all what it requires to predict and to get kind of a pattern, a risk pattern, and everything about that particular, group of patients overall is getting collected. And that goes to that right side where there are 4 components: care modeler, care collaborator, care engager, and care optimizer. What does care modeler do? Simple, it is basically the core of the analytics. Based on the data, they find the risk patterns of a particular patient and also on a particular type of pattern for a particular disease, geography, and a lot of other factors. A lot of complex algorithms and predictive algorithms, of course, plays a critical role here. The collaborator does the communication and the collaboration part. The engager engages with the stakeholders, mostly targeted for the employer analysis. And the optimizer is kind of optimizes based on the overall data with the standard in the market and kind of compare and tries to optimize the cost. So it's basically how the cost can be optimized more. So this is the overall model. It's a bit difficult, to explain you on more detail. So what I have done, like there's a small video, this platform that we built it for Capital Blue Cross in US, they were the first company in US to kind of have all connected this, and the other providers like United Healthcare and all, they are following up. So there will be a small video which will help you to understand the model from a kind of a very layman's perspective. It's not going? Oh. Can you play the video, please? Sound is there.
The healthcare industry is currently undergoing a fundamental transformation worldwide as it moves from volume to value-based business. Growing demands from consumers for improved healthcare quality and greater value are forcing healthcare physicians and payers to deliver optimized outcomes. A large amount of healthcare data exists, but most organizations do not have the infrastructure or tools to harness its real power of understanding why something happened, descriptive analytics, what will happen in the future, predictive analytics, or how users will benefit from these predictions, prescriptive analytics, which is critical to building a future of personalized medicine. Our solution is powered by an innovative, scalable platform that empowers patients with the information they need to make educated decisions at the moment of care. The platform also provides a more efficient system for bidirectional collaboration between all stakeholders in the patient's care. The healthcare consumer or patient has too many choices, not enough information. Easy to understand, actionable, and transparent information so the member may make informed, quality-based decisions is imperative. Our solution is designed to provide meaningful and actionable data to all of our stakeholders, including care administrators such as ACOs and pay-for-performance organizations, care physicians, care managers, care payers, and care engagers such as employers and brokers. So how does all of this data provide value for our stakeholders? Our solution is designed to provide improved quality in healthcare delivery and the patient's quality of life. It reduces complexity in the delivery of healthcare to the patient and the physicians, payers, and care engagers making up the patient's care team. It improves patient satisfaction, lowers healthcare cost, reduces absenteeism and presenteeism for employers, and is designed to increase revenue and margins for risk-bearing entities. Theon's platform is fueled by its robust data integration, including multi-sourced administrative data, electronic medical records, medical devices, and fitness technology. Risk identification algorithms, business rule creation, editing, and orchestration. Alert systems for gaps in care or gaps in coding. Operational workflow to integrate with the physician's EMRs. And data enrichment, including psychographic data, allowing care managers to target how to allocate resource and build connections with their healthcare consumers. Theon is not magic. It's a concert of data, communications, and analytics that open new avenues to adapting in a new healthcare paradigm. Theon is unlocking new solutions where patients may access the right care at the right time, leading to optimal health.
So the components of this model and is like, if you can see, the data exchange, which is basically taking data from different sources, like even hospital information system, from different ACOs. ACOs are like accountable care organizations. Even the physicians, whenever there is an encounter with a patient, so they have to provide data. So all these data are coming to a central place, and it is going to an enterprise bus, what we call data fabric. There the data is even enriched based on some algorithm. Sometimes that's very critical because the data size being very, very big, even the basic things like the name of the city even or the name of the person might have different kind of a mismatch. So those kind of a complex algorithms, and there are already some products in the market like MathMatch and all, so that those are used to kind of enrich the data, and that's very important. And along with that, end of the route there is an information exchange portal where all the stakeholders in this ecosystem can access and see the output of the whole model. This is the technology stack, I can say, like the design part. The down, you can see all the data is coming. It's not very visible here, but the data is coming to that, and it is going to the integration bus. And then there are 4 components. Security. Security is very, very important because this data has to be de-identified, this data has to be encrypted. There are a lot of as per the HIPAA rule. The utility services, analytics part, and the warehouse. So these 4 components are basically backing up the middleware, and in the top, in the front end, the consumers are accessing this platform through even the individuals, patients and all. So the data exchange, just to elaborate a bit, this is a payer, PBM, pharmacy, lab, hospital, radiology, so all sorts of, even hospital information exchange. EMR is electronic medical record. So all this data, and this data exchange also has to be compliant as per the standard, like in US, like they go for HL7 for the hospital data and all. So there are integration engine, interoperability, routing, ETL. ETL is extraction, transformation, and loading, and the process flow. The security is okay. I mean, probably that's a part of the whole ecosystem. I'm not elaborating anymore. And this is very important. The 4 pieces are connected. The interoperability between the data, the analytics and the reporting part, and even the standardization that even we have to do, like in countries like India, when the hospitals, even be it private or public, they will share the data. The data, whatever is, yes, it is being shared at this point of time also now, but the data is, I mean, the data that they share is of very high, aggregated data. So that doesn't have, kind of that, meaning you cannot fetch out of that. So kind of a standardization, what US has done, like ACO, they call it ACO matrices. So for every encounter, they have published a set of facts and dimensions and the measures, what has to be captured. This standardization is extremely required. So India or any developing countries should go for this. And I am hopeful, like from the policy perspective also this is come, because that's basically the backbone of the analytics, and where from you can tell the health of a nation, where it goes, and then you can really, your insurance companies can have plan accordingly. So this will be more or less cost. So everything, end of the day, it will be less pinching for the patients. and then the provider and the patient portal. Even the patients will have access to this ecosystem whenever they need. The moment a patient will land up in an hospital, his risk factor will be popped up from the screen. So that's the ultimate goal, because then we know like where his health condition is. The interface is, of course, like this is a bit technical. There will be interesting thing other than the predictive what if and all. There will be even natural language processing as well, and there will be a lot of artificial intelligence and a lot of predictive modeling included. So thank you. Any question? Yes.
Or the payers?
All. It's for all, because they will also have to share the data.
Okay.
This is HIE, the information exchange, is meant for that. So I give you a basic example. Say all these hospitals that they share their data. So imagine all these private hospitals, they will share their de-identified data, right? And this data will be finally used for analysis, and that data will be shared among the other stakeholders so that they can take actionable decisions, like even to insurance and all.
So the dashboard that talking about, it will be with the hospitals?
It will be with the all stakeholders through this portal. Also, even patients also will have an access.
Patient will have access to it.
Access through portal, through mobile app, everything.
But don't you think the private health information that so how much is there a lag that it can be leaked to other people?
Pardon? Can you
private healthcare information, PHI we are talking about, is there a
private? There's just to share one experience. Recently, last 2 weeks before in Mumbai, there was an event in Sahara Star done by ET CIO and 40 hospitals in Mumbai, private hospitals, and we were invited there. So they have formed a consortium to achieve this model in Mumbai, for Mumbai city, and already government, they're tying up with the local government. So they have to do for their own benefit. So the health of the Mumbai as a city will go up. So everybody will enjoy the benefit.
Good luck.
Does it also include the wearable devices that the patients are
Yes, that will be the endpoint devices are part of the whole ecosystem, has to be. That depth I did not go in this, but yes, you are right, absolutely. Any more question? Yeah, the gentleman there.
I have a question. I am developing a product, it's an IT product. And hello, my name is Avijit, and I am developing a healthcare IT product. That's an Android mobile product. The product will be in the market in the month of October. But my question is that hospitals and other institutions, they can MS data, they can collect data very easily. They have huge number of users and customers. But being an individual entrepreneur, when I'm developing a product, how can I get those targeted data so that I can come into personalized healthcare in future, right now, before my product is developed?
So you have to tie up with couple of private healthcare companies, like maybe hospitals and all. So that have to go on your own.
No, hospitals are not willing to share their data.
I know, but they will. Then they have to, ask them. Give them a proper benefit for them. So you have to make a pitch from the business angle, and then also whenever you are taking the data, you can take de-identified data. I don't know what exactly your app does, but when it comes to de-identified for all of you, de-identified means you are not exposing the name of the patient and address, but you are giving all the insights.
But any suggestion if I want to go into personalized healthcare, if I want to collect data from right now?
Then you have to write a proper business proposition for those targeted hospitals.
That is supporting the hospitals with a proper plan or pitching something like that.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, the model which you suggested, I would like to know what are the KPIs in that model, the key performance issues, when it comes to implementation by any state government or central government, for instance. So what will be the KPIs in this
these
model?
are the KPIs are, as I mentioned, those are the matrices that has been defined in the ACOs, Accountable Care Organization KPIs. There are thousands of KPIs for each and every kind of atomic level of the healthcare. I give you an example. For example, I mean, when you are saying KPI, if I understand it well, so I'm talking about KPI from a particular, because this is a kind of a collaborative decision, like you're based on your pattern that you are finding, right? So there, here KPI is not exactly the same KPI that you call in business, like key performance indicator that way. Like risk factor for the patient, that's the KPI, I can say. But going deeper, the matrices which has been defined in the ACOs, like the exchange, capturing the data, those are your defined KPIs. So for diabetic, whenever diabetic patient goes to a physician, so the matrices that he has to capture and what should be the, kind of the benchmark, the standard, values and what he is having. So that's the match, and that data has to be shared. So that way they have defined, it's in thousands and all. So those are public data, publicly available information, and it's available in US healthcare portals as well as in many other sites also.
Thank you.